Hey, this is Veronica Wasek with 5-Minute Bookkeeping, and today I'm talking to you about how I get paid to diagnose my clients' books. In recent videos, I have been showing you how I diagnose my clients' books, and I've also shown you my SMART review checklist for how I do a quick check of my clients' books to see how messed up the books might be. This all leads up to me doing a paid diagnostic review. By doing a paid diagnostic review, I'm able to communicate the value of my services and to sell the client additional services, which usually leads to a large cleanup project. In this video, I will explain to you what the diagnostic review is and what the value is of the diagnostic review. All right, let's get started. What is the diagnostic review? It is a paid project that you undertake for your client, where you assess the health of a client's QuickBooks data, you diagnose problems and assess the level of cleanup needed, you identify transactions that need to be brought up to date, and you get a clear scope of work. What is the value of the diagnostic review? First, you get to qualify the prospect. By doing a diagnostic review and charging for a diagnostic review, you're actually able to tell whether your prospective client can pay for your services, first of all. Because if they won't pay for the diagnostic review or can't afford a diagnostic review, they likely can't afford any other services. So this is a good way then to qualify a client and find a client who's actually willing and able to pay you. It also establishes a certain relationship with the client in which that prospect values working with a specialist or with an expert. So they are looking to find someone who is an expert, who knows what they're doing in order to diagnose their books. And working with a client who values your expertise and values your time and knowledge is really working with an ideal client. And I always talk about finding those ideal clients. And ideal clients are willing and able to pay for your services, and they value your knowledge, your expertise, and your time. You also get to learn what the client is like to work with. So for some reason, if this is a client that you wouldn't want to work with after you've done the diagnostic review, at least you know that. So you haven't risked an entire long-term relationship with this client and then would be able to move on if for some reason you felt like they were not a good fit for you. You can also get a scope of work. We know that in cleanups, there's so many surprises, and sometimes you're peeling the layers of the onion and it seems like you'll never get to the bottom of the cleanup because there's so much going on. And many people do cleanups and charge by the hour for this very reason. But by doing a very thorough diagnostic review, you are able to get a fairly good scope of work, which reduces surprises and also helps with your pricing. So surprises to you because you really don't know what's wrong with their books, and then surprises to the client because you may end up charging a whole lot more money for a cleanup because you didn't do a diagnostic review. You also give the client a recommendation for services, which places you in an advisory role. So now you are doing a diagnostic. You are then recommending services to the client. So it's very much like a doctor who may do a checkup. He's diagnosing you for certain problems, and then they give you a course of treatment. So by following the process that I will teach you, then you are positioning yourself not only as an expert, but then as an advisor to your client. The diagnostic review also puts you in control. So you are telling the client what needs to be done, as opposed to the client telling you that, well, I just need my books reconciled, because they use the word reconciled a lot and don't necessarily know what that means. So places you in control of what needs to be done. And it also lowers the risk to the client. So they are paying you a small amount of money to find out what's wrong with their books, as opposed to hiring you to clean up the books and don't really know what that entails or what that really means from a time perspective and also a financial perspective. I'm Veronica Wasek with 5-Minute Bookkeeping. Make sure that you check the description box below so you can opt in for my free Smart Review checklist, in which I show you how I review my clients' books in just 15 minutes. And check out all of the other free goodies as well. If this content is helping you, make sure that you comment, like, share, and subscribe to this channel so you can get all of my latest videos.